very competitive.
Still?
Oh, yes. I mean, if I'm playing cricket today or playing golf, I want to win. Try to win, yeah.
You see, somebody called you, I think it was Harold Wilson, called Fred Trueman, was it the greatest living Yorkshireman?
Yeah, I think that came up somewhere, yeah. I think everybody agreed by J.P. Priestley, wasn't it? I think he wrote to Harold Wilson and said something. I don't know. I know Harold Wilson told me.
What a big bird it is to carry around now. Greatest living Yorkshireman.
I don't know. I never think of it.
But you go out a lot. You play a lot for the county, even though you're not playing cricket. You actually play a Yorkshireman. You go to lots of after-dinner things. You go to lots of entertainment.
Yeah, I don't play Yorkshireman because I'm a Yorkshireman. But yes, I do.
I beg your pardon.
No. No. Yes, I do. I speak at dinners, yes.
Do you get taken down a peg or two at all over these dinners?
No, not really. No, I can look after myself if I have to. Verbally, I mean. Yes, I can. I've learned a lot over the years. I've mixed with show business people practically all my life. So there's a lot of lovely sayings around which you can always get your own back if you have to. I don't like doing it. I'd rather talk and be friendly.
Now, occasionally, when you go to these sort of after-dinner do's, they don't turn out as you expect them to, do they?
No, not always. No, not always. There are some funny things happen. This. I once went to a dinner down Cambridge away somewhere, and I fell about laughing because it was one of the few dinners I've been to where they carried two people in. They actually carried two in. Sat them in the chair and they were there all sat right through the dinner. Yeah.
Did you go to one where you thought you were going to speak for 3/4 of an hour?
Oh, that yes, that was one that happened in Yorkshire, and I was commentating the cricket at Old Trafford between Lancashire and Yorkshire, and they wanted me to speak at this dinner near Elland. And I said, well, I've got to do this because I had a sum up on the television. I had to do my piece for the newspaper. I had all that to do. And I dashed across. My wife, Veronica, met me with the evening dress and all that, my shirt laid out. And a drink for me. And I didn't even have time for a bath. Just a quick wash, hair, comb into the evening dress and out. And downstairs to the reception room, there's nobody there. So we asked where they were. And they said, oh, I think they've gone upstairs. So we went upstairs and couldn't find anybody there. But we did hear a noise. So we followed the noise and went in. And there they were all. They were on the second course. I didn't wear it. Veronica was in a long evening dress. I was in evening dress, and they were in suits and jeans and sweaters and pullovers. Never saw anything like it. And I sat there, and then eventually we got sat down. And the man sitting on my right hand side, immediately on my right hand side, he didn't say hello, Fred, how are you, or anything like that. He just said, I blacked out on the motorway, again last week. And I looked at, and I said, did you? He said, yeah. It's the third time, So I said, well, don't you think you ought to give up driving or see a doctor or something before there's an accident? And anyway, this went on, and then we started dinner on the main course. We forgot about superfish, we were on to the main course. And then I think the chairman or the secretary, whoever it was, said to my wife, how long did your husband speak for? She said, 40, 45 minutes, And he said, well, do you think you could ask him to cut it down to 7 or 8 minutes? Because after all, we have come to enjoy ourselves. Daft, aren't they?
You need more booze. I'm going to get some more for myself. I'll see you later.
I
went to
Brussels.
for several
Days.
yes, several.
Days.
It was,
Exciting.
but somehow
It
was dreadful.
because
Russell gives
such
huge amounts,
of
portions of
venison
Well, we have the weather for Christmas, but precious little else. This is one of the main shopping centres of Moscow, but you won't find it crowded with people rushing home with brightly coloured parcels under their arm. Not that there's any need to. Tomorrow the shops will be open just like everything else. It's an ordinary working day. This is partly because the Russian Orthodox Church doesn't celebrate its Christmas for another fortnight, but also because the state here, the communist state, doesn't like to encourage what it regards as superstitious practice. But nonetheless, there is a hint of jollity creeping into the air. In the shop windows, little Christmas trees are sprouting up, only here they're called frost trees. They're mostly artificial because the state is complaining that too many people have been cutting down the real fir trees, and there aren't enough of them. There's another bright touch this year, little kiosks where people can buy decorations to take home, or even Christmas cards, part of a general effort to make life rather brighter for the people. Here's one of the Christmas cards, very seasonal, except the snow is on the roofs of the Kremlin, and the star is bright red. I even found one card with lots of Father Christmases on it, although here he's called Grandfather Frost, and he goes about delivering presents on New Year's Eve. Parents can actually hire themselves a Grandfather Frost to come round and deliver presents to their children, and on New Year's Eve we're expecting to see more than 1,000 of these red-garbed figures floating around Moscow in a fleet of taxis. And they're also going to have their pockets full of sweets as a special treat this year to hand out to any children they find on the way. By tradition, they're always accompanied by a snow maiden, figure from mythology here, whose job principally is to stop Grandfather Frost accepting too many tots of vodka from the grateful parents he visits. I ran into a pair of them earlier this year. They were using a helicopter rather than reindeer, but everything else about them, the red robes and the white beard, was as traditional as you could ask for. I thought I would quite enjoy Christmas away from the overdone commercial trappings in the West, but I must confess it is a bit bleak. So, just like every other Westerner in Moscow, tomorrow I shall be sitting down with my important